What up, though? We're Don and Clue from Clean Sneaker Care, and today we're going to show you how to clean Wheat Timberlands. We have this pair of classic 6-inch Wheat Timbs in front of us. Clue, what's the first step in getting these back looking fresh?
Yeah, the first thing we're gonna do is assess the material. Actually, we have a really dope Nubuck upper. It goes throughout the entire boot pretty much with this leather collar, and then we got the classic double sole right here, which is what people look for.
Okay, so we know the materials we're working with. What do we do after that?
As we get into the uppers, we got heavy staining on throughout pretty much. The laces seem to be good. They're still going to come out so we can get to the rest of the boot. The tongue seems to be cool. The midsole also needs some work. Overall, definitely a deep clean scenario.
Deep clean for sure, full top to bottom. All right, so what tools do we actually need to set up our workstation with to start approaching these?
Yeah, so starting off, we got our mat, which is going to protect the surface that we're working on. And then we have our shoe trees right here, which we're going to use to stuff the boot to retain shape. Clean water right here as well. We have our rejuvenator solution, pre-mixed water bottle with just a couple drops of rejuvenators and water. 3 brush set, soft, stiff, medium cuticle pushers, plain medium brush. We have our horsehair brush. We have a suede eraser. We have our mink oil. And last but not least, we have our Repel repellent spray.
Nice. So we know what we're working with. We got our workstation set up. What's the first step in the cleaning process so we can actually start taking care of these?
The first thing we're going to do is take the laces out so we can get to the rest of the shoe. We're going to perform a nice dry cleaning up top to get rid of all these spots and everything. And then we're going to work on the bottoms and then work our way back up.
You got it. Sounds good. Let's get to it.
Yeah, so the first thing we're going to point out is I hate when people put these knots in the shoe too. Like, it's so hard to get these out sometimes. These are simple.
Which is, I guess, the point, right?
Yeah.
It's like you want to...
Yeah, so we're going to get the laces out real quick. I'm also going to take off the keychain because it just gets in the way. And if it was dirty, then you definitely want to clean this too. You can't have a crispy pair of Timberlands
with a dirty tag.
Yeah, nah, we don't do that over here. So I'm going to get these laces going first. With a couple drops of rejuvenator into the water. 2 or 3 suffices, but I always end up doing more than that, it seems like.
A little more hurt.
Yeah. So just gonna drop them in here a couple of times and then scrub them up. These weren't that bad, but it's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want dirty laces going on top of a freshly clean boot. Yeah.
And you can already see a little dust just knocking off into the water there. So, it's worth getting them in.
That we did it. And what you want to do when you're cleaning up these laces, when you're drying them off and straining the water, you want to start at the lace tip and then go from end to end. So we're just going to pull it through. It should pull out all the water. This towel get pretty wet. And then you want to kind of stop there. This went over a little bit, but if it was like a plastic lace, you could pull it off. So it's good to just go through and stop at the end. Went over it twice. That should be good. We're going to set these on a clean, dry towel. So by the time we put them back in, they should be nice and dry. And the pro tip, if the laces are still damp, don't put them back in the shoe, because what will happen is you will have water spots on top of here. You see how the eyelets are below more Nubuck? If you put the laces in, it's going to sit up here and then you're going to have stains as they move. You don't want that, and you'll have crisscross stains on here. So make sure they're fully dry before you put them back in. So the next step is we're going to get the shoe trees in here. This is going to help with stability and allow me to really work on this this toe box. As you can see, this is not going nowhere and I can apply pressure. So now we are going to get rid of all this dirt up top. We're going to brush off as much as we can and then get into more of the dry cleaning process.
So again, just dry cleaning, obviously meaning we're not using any water, any solution at this step. We're just knocking off all the surface level dirt so we can really see the stains that are really into the material, right?
Yes, sir. So you can see that this is making a big difference already. As we're brushing off this dirt, it's coming off very, very well. After this, I am going to take the cuticle pusher and work on a couple spots, but these are looking very good. So I'm going to take this, I'm just going to kind of work on this little scuff right here. And you might see some shedding, but that's fine because this boot is tough. The layers are thick, so you'll be okay with that. Now I got rid of that part and we're gonna brush it off. As you can see, that spot is pretty much gone. You can do that for whatever you see over here. I'm gonna take the suede eraser and just go over anything that might have been missed, like this spot right here that's right above the eyelids. quick erase, and that should be gone as well. Don't worry about the residue from the eraser. That should brush right off. I'll be going to the outsole. I'm going to take the same cuticle pusher. I'm just going to pop out these rocks and stuff, and then it should be just like a quick cleaning. We got a big one here. I'm going to spray. So we're gonna do a medium brush right here because I think it moves to the grooves better.
Right.
The stiff brush is not as agile,
Right.
for obvious reasons. So we're gonna start there. All right, I'm gonna spray just a little bit so I can see where I'm at. Sweet. I'm gonna take this towel and just kind of wipe it out. So there's gonna be some soap and stuff left in the grooves, but when we set it on the towel, it'll drain out, and then we can move on to the midsoles. Next, we're gonna get to the midsole. The midsoles aren't crazy. We got a few spots, so we're actually gonna take the hard brush and just knock those out real quick. Then after we do that, we're gonna change the water so we can work on the uppers.
Got you. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure you're using fresh water before you get to the Nubuck and the suede uppers.
Oh yeah.
So we got a fresh bowl of water here. We kind of reset our station, got our cleaner and everything ready to go for the next step. What are we looking at?
So now we can get into the light cleaning of the uppers.
Okay.
We're going to take some solution, some water. We're going to create a nice lather over the whole shoe. Again, you want to make sure you clean these even so you won't have any water spots. We're also going to touch the collar as well so that can get conditioned. And then we're going to dab and twist, get the moisture out, and move to the next step.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, a couple of squirts that we shoot there in the water. We're going to use our soft brush. It's going to create the best lather.
Okay.
And it's going to give us the best case scenario over the whole shoe, and it's safe to use all materials. So one of the important steps here is to dip and then shake off all the excess. And then again, you want to create the best lather that you can. Circular motion is always recommended. So now we got a good clean. We can take our towel, and like I said, we're gonna dab and twist out as much as we can.
So microfiber towel after you set it all up and got the upper kind of like nice and clean. So as you're drying it off and you're twisting, that's just to drain out more moisture from the Nubuck.
Yep, and then you're moving the Nubuck around too. So when we get into the post cleaning and we reset the nap, then you're gonna get the movement and the texture that you need, just like when you first took them out the box. So now I'm gonna brush the Nubuck. It's gonna help dry it, but also it's gonna help reset the nap before we get into the other parts of the post cleaning. This is definitely helping. As you can see, like we already got really good motion in here. The color is also looking pretty good.
But
It's already getting back into that mode of fresh out the box.
okay, so we've gone through, you know, a large part of the cleaning process at this point, and we definitely want to make sure the shoe dries out as well as the laces before we relace and kind of get to some of our final steps. So what does that actually look like timing wise, or what are we looking for in the drying process here?
Yeah, we're looking at like 30 to 40 minutes for them to fully dry. Again, we want to make sure that we prevent like any extra spots. We just did a lot of work, and you don't want that work to go to waste by putting the laces in too soon or applying mink oil before the shoe is like actually ready for it, because then you got to go back and fix your mistakes. We're going to take our horsehair brush, keep that on standby. Then
Nice.
we're going to take the mink oil. We're going to get a nice even layer. I'm going to spray 6 to 8 inches away. And then just take your time and just apply. You don't want to oversaturate, but it's okay for you to make sure that you hit the whole boot. As you can see, it's absorbing right in. Don't forget this collar, because this mink oil is going to condition the leather too. So you can let this sit for a little bit, or you can just go right in and brush it. I like to go right in and brush. We're going to take this horsehair brush, which is perfect for this material. Before I do that, you can see how the color just got a little bit darker.
Yeah,
and
you can definitely see it restoring its color back.
Yeah.
And again, we're keeping that motion and that movement within the fibers.
Now again, this right here is what you want. This is like
Butter.
legit like mink, but like butter, like he said. So make sure you get the whole boot. Take your time with this part. You can hit the collar too. You should be good.
Now, what are we looking at, like drying time here too for the mink oil?
For 45 minutes to an hour, maybe. You know what I mean? And it's just going to continue to soak in and get better. The color should be about where it is. It's not going to be too far off, but these are ready to go once we lace them up. So we're going to get this tag back on here. Then the last step I would say is after about an hour or so, you can hit it with some repeller spray. And this is going to help maintain the boot throughout your next few wears.
Sounds good. All right, let's go back and see our work. Let's do it side by side.
Yeah. The dirt is gone. The color is back. The Nubuck looks much richer. We got the lines in here. It's looking pretty
Crazy
good.
difference.
Like really good. You see that right there. I'll put them up for the lateral side. Look at the rear. But this one right here, this is pretty crazy.
I'm Don.
I'm cool.
And that's another pair clean. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Let us know if you used any of these tips in the comments.